Brittney Castro is in the house to help us transform our finances. Financially wise. We need this so much as women. It is one of my pet peeves in the coaching online world that we're teaching people to just have 6 and 7 figure, but we don't teach how to build assets, how to build passive income, how to really stabilize ourselves financially. So help us out.
Yes, I'm so stoked to be here. So honestly, I think what you're saying is so key, because a lot of times investing in ourselves and our career is a part of wealth building, but also thinking beyond just that and making sure you have a savings account for your cushion.
What's that?
Travel account for your travel adventures, looking at investing in the market, whether it's the stock market or real estate, even in your business, thinking about your business in terms of equity, you know, building a brand that you could potentially leverage for passive income, or how do you build a business that you could maybe sell one day. So yeah, what you said with women specifically, it is key, because I think now more than ever, we have so many opportunities as women to make money, be out in the world, be entrepreneurs, go after our dreams, but also remembering how to be financially wise at the same time. It's important.
I'm sure I'm not the only one who's completely overwhelmed, though, just at the idea of being financially wise, of taking care of myself and what that means, what that looks like. So tell us about the company that you've built, Financially Wise, and how it serves people like me.
Yes, great question. So I've been a financial planner for 13 years. Long story short, I started at a financial planning company right after college, and I was one of the only women there. And it never bothered me, because I had always, I have brothers, so I always, got along well with men. But I realized, 4 years in, when I would work with couples, the woman would always ask me just basic questions around, am I going to be okay? They didn't care about standard deviation of their portfolio or beta. They just wanted to know, do I have enough money to take care of myself, my family, give back to my community, go after my dreams? And so I started to pick up on this trend that the conversation was less around the tactical side of money and more about how is money serving them in their life, and is it addressing their deepest fears and concerns about running out or not having enough. And I just started doing all this research, and then I decided to leave that company, go to an independent company, and start focusing on women. So I teach all these workshops and go around LA. Every women's organization that I could join, I joined, and just started to build my network. And then what you asked, it was coming to me all the time, how do I be financially wise? There so many smart, savvy people that I would meet, men and women, and yet they still were like, how do I budget? How do I save? How do I set up my retirement accounts? And it's real, because we don't get this education in school. Parents aren't teaching it. And so I just started to pick up on this trend and say, how can I just make it easy for people, relatable? We're all in it together. It's not that if you have $1 million, you can have that too, right? It's not about just the million. It's how do you get there, and what's the process to create your wealth consciousness?
Yeah. I think everyone they had that fantasy, I want to be that millionaire, I want to have that laptop lifestyle, and they like to live, just play in that fantasy world, which is great. But we also need to bring it down to very specifics and have it be fun, because people are, once they do it, they get, once you look at your not fun at first, but then it starts getting more fun. So how do you bring fun into it? How do you bring the kind of, so it's not too overwhelming for people?
I love that you asked that, because that's one of our main philosophies in our company. 6 years ago, I was like, I just want to work with people on more consulting, coaching basis and make it fun for them. So I just started coming up with these concepts. So one thing, for example, is we teach money dates, which is once a week, date your money. So literally have an hour date where you're looking at your accounts, reviewing your spending. Hey, you got to bring some sexy energy into it.
Wow, if you can make budgeting sexy, you are a goddess.
Well, think about it though, think about it, because money is just another relationship, right? So a lot of people bring this negative energy into the relationship, and instead, all you have to just switch your mindset. Okay, so if it's a date, you want to look sexy, you want to play some music, light a candle, drink wine, whatever you need to do to make this fun.
And then see how much little or how little like money you have. It does not sound fun. I've got to admit, there are people out there watching who are very much like me and think that sounds terrifying.
And it might be, honestly, it might be in the beginning, but the whole purpose is to go through that. You can't avoid it, because if you avoid it, it's only going to get worse. And you're not alone. And I just want to say that, you're not alone if you have these emotions or feelings with money. The reality is 99% of people have it. It's just we don't talk about money on a day-to-day basis with our closest friends and family and partners. So I think there's this misconception that I'm the only one experiencing this. I'm the only one struggling with budgeting or having fun with my money. And it's not true.
And there's a lot of shame around that too. I feel bad that I can't say, oh, I invested $250,000 into myself. I've never had $250,000. I want it. I can visualize it. I can see what that feels like. But the idea of opening up my computer and thinking, ooh, I'm going to have a glass of wine to get sexy with my money. Ha! That's like a joke. I want to believe you, but that's so hard, because I wouldn't even think, I'm not even in a position where I would have a financial planner. Why would you get a financial planner if you don't have finances?
Which is another misconception, because I think that is most people think, oh, I hire a financial planner when I get money or when I have $1 million. But again, it's actually not true, because the people who have $1 million or get to $1 million are the ones who've worked with professionals along the way to help them get there.
I would imagine you can sit down with someone and say, look, you may not have any money or any savings right now, but if you just save this much over the next 10 years, this is what potentially, you could probably give them hope.
And when you're educated about something, I think it's less scary. Then you kind of see it as just, okay, this is just another area that I got to learn. And when you invest time, money, and energy into something, you start to get the results and rewards from that.
Such a great point, and I love the question that sort of Jez is highlighting here, which is around, I think so much of money and finances is full of judgment, self-judgment, and there's lots of judgment that you sort of expect from other people as well, particularly even financial planners. And so how do you help people come to a place of peace around their finances and money when they may not have enough to do what they want to do or even to live? How do you help them come to a place of peace around it and non-judgment around it?
Yeah, the non-judgment's key, and even I face it. I'm not immune to these, financial issues that people come across. But I think it's about just bringing compassion to the table and really telling people you're not alone. Making sure they focus also on the positive things they've done in their life, which is a lot of, we forget to do that for our own selves. So I'm not a licensed coach or therapist, but after working with people and money for 13 years, you see a lot. I have a lot of experience, and I think I just kind of bring all those experiences to the table, and I remind people, oh my gosh, celebrate everything you have done and stay in that energy versus it's still not enough, or judgment, shame, I could have done this. And I think it's just bringing that human element. And also the spiritual component of money is, the reality is you're always going to be taken care of, and to remember that, there's always enough money, and to shift from the scarcity to the abundance. And it's a daily practice. It's not a one-time thing and you're set for life. It's every stage you go with money, every level you hit, there's new things.
I have friends that are multi-millionaires, and they still deal with problems and scared of losing everything because they're doing bigger and bigger games and bigger things. And so it's not like you go, I'm secure now. Most people that have money are afraid of losing their money. So
it's so true.
It's just a state of mind.
It's a state of mind, and I've learned something from my own spiritual journey, that just because you have $1 million or 10 million or 100 million, it doesn't mean you're going to get that peace of mind or happiness.
You live better than most. I know.
And that's a wealthy life, right? Wealthy life is not just about money. It's how are you living, or do you have love? Do you have connection? Are you, a happy person? So not to forget those elements too. Some of the wealthiest people, like Paul Getty, he was infamous. He would charge people to use the phone in his home. Stop! All the way at the end. So when I've seen that, and you hear this a lot. I've read a lot of books and studied people with money, and it just because you have money doesn't mean you're wealthy.
You can't take it with you. That's right. So where can people find you and work with you?
Yeah, financiallywiseinc.com.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brittney.
Yeah. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.